Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices for Thursday, September 16. And starting with the stock 50 here, as I mentioned yesterday, is that there's probably a pretty good, this one's got the better pattern out of the FTSE and the DAX, in that we've at least made a new high, a clear new high above here, even though if we looked at this as 1, 2, 3 and 4 here, we do have overlap here. But it does present, apart from that, it presents a pretty good case. Also too, this move that comes down here looks a little bit impulsive, and this move up here is looking a little bit corrective. Now if this market sits on top of the 4,200, well then sure, we could look to, as mentioned yesterday, we can look to put the trader hat on and look for a long trade, so to speak, and we could go long above, above that second high, if not that high there. But we would need the market to push up at that point, because it could still just push up, give the first high above the level and then drop at that point. So I think that we can also look to go short below here, because it doesn't look, it looks corrective, all of this. It doesn't look like it's impulsive. We could probably just go over here now for that as well. So that's your long trade, that's your short trade at that point. So do we accept that? When we look at the DAX here, for instance, just on the 4-hour chart, we'll just talk about this yesterday, we can look at wave 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and we could get 5 waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a bit dodgy to have wave 5 of 5 of 3, because that's what we're looking for with this market as well, that 3 there, and the same with the S&P and all the rest of it as well. They're all very close to having that in place. The thing is that we don't really have a good impulse wave to the downside here. This I suppose we could look at this as wave 1 down to this point, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then down for 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2. But this looks bullish corrective here as well. It looks like it wants to move up here. We looked at being short here. We can drift that. Now we've got a reasonable low here. We can drift that up to that point there to go short there as well. I mean, the other, if that's not the high here for this, which is a bit of a long shot, but it does tie it in nicely with the stock 50. The other point is that we could look at this as an A and a B and a C wave here for the A wave, and then an A and a B and a C here for the B wave here. A little bit different, or we can look at it as a triangle pattern, doesn't matter, as an A, B, C, D, E here for the B wave. And then pushing up for the C wave here. So basically a ending diagonal triangle, taking us a little bit higher. We're expecting the S&P to push up. There's some stocks that have appeared to have topped, like Apple, but Alphabet, Google still needs to move to the upside. You can have a look at those videos. So in one way, we're sort of searching for a top. Yeah, I mean, this is looking pretty weak here, but it also hasn't collapsed as well. But if it does collapse, we really need to be short below here. Otherwise, it's we'll just track it higher at that point. So yeah, I mean, we could get to a bigger picture and with all of this, by the way, and put wave 4 over here for this, but maybe I'll show you that on the FTSE. We can have a look at the FTSE now. I'll just bring that over here so we can look. So yeah, with a wave 3 over here, we could look at all of this across here as a wave 4 over here for this. It's a long shot, doesn't really tie in with the S&P that well. Once again here, we've got this corrective pattern here, so we know that we'd make a new high above here, which we have done. With the stock 50 here, just coming back again, we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, even though it overlaps. There's a issue with that. But if we take that pattern there and put it onto this market here, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, obviously this this wave 4 here would have overlapped wave 1. That's one issue. The other issue here is, yeah, we can count 5 waves out of here, and it's okay to have a truncated 5th wave. That happens. But once again here, calling that top in there based on what we can see here is not really that sort of positive, you know. If we went to short this market, let's say, well, then this is the closest largest number, and we would need, you know, a move through that. So we would need to see the markets come down and bounce. Let's just say that, and it's come back down and checked it. This is this move here. Let's just say that it comes halfway back up and then comes through here again. Well, then that would be pretty bearish at that point. We would look for the retest there, though, before shorting it at this point. That reference point low would need to be in place. Then we can short it if it's breached at that point. I mean, because obviously this is the floor. To get our timing right, we need to be on the right side of the closest largest number at the right time. So shorting it above here, sure, get you a better price, but you'd want to make sure, you know, you got that strong support there. Also too, from the low to the high here, this is the 50-60% retracement level in here as well. So the other thing here I thought that was interesting, and excuse me for this next chart, but it was it's the only place I could get a decent, well, a chart on this particular thing here. And this is, I don't know if you can see that. This is just Yahoo Finance. But what I wanted here was I wanted the FTSE 250, not the 100, but the 250, because the 250 from the COVID low down here, which is just off the chart, you know, this market's moved along really nicely up here, you know. So here, if we look at this as 1 and 2 over here, that's a little bit debatable, but counting this here, I don't really see a problem. We've got 1, 2, 3, nice strong third of the thirds here, so to speak. Wave 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this. And then we've got 1 and 2 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 here and all the way up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and then up for the fifth wave here with an A and a B and a C for the fourth. And then there's 5 waves in this little move here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So, crikey, are we looking at a top here for this market, you know? So I think there's a good case for that, you know? This is the 5 waves, you can see a little bit clearer here. So I think that the FTSE 250 has got its wave 3 top in place. So this market's really been holding up the UK market. So yeah, I mean, this coming back from wave 2 here to wave 3 here would be looking for the market to pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which would be here, or 38.2% retracement level, which is probably a tad lower. But yeah, I think that's kind of important, really, that this situation. So there you have it on the F250 with a possible intermediate wave 3 top in, which coming back to this one here, this would be the intermediate wave 3 top here with a truncated fifth wave. But we would want some evidence for this to short it and to call that top in, wouldn't we? So obviously the 7,000 as the retested resistance would be good for that. Because I'm struggling with all of this count, you know, I mean, I can do things like put wave 4, you know, put this wave 4 over here. I mean, even this move down through here, I can really only count it as 3 waves down here. So this is why I'll wait for this here, because if this moves through here, let's say, that could just be the 5th wave here to make this 1 and 2 in here and 3, 4, 5. I can show you that if you like. 1 hour should do the trick. So from the top here, we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for whatever, and then retracement back here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we've got down for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So we don't have 5 waves down here. You know, can this be the 3rd wave and this be the 4th wave? Well, then the 4th wave overlaps it over here, you know. I was looking at this here being an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. I know we could look at this as wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, but such a big wave 2 compared to this little move here. This also in here as well, it doesn't count very well, but it does. Maybe that is the 5th wave here, because it looks like we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. A bit, you know, it's ugly, but it's possible 5 waves there. That's why I was looking at this retracement level here that this could move down. We don't want that there. That's a bit silly to put that there above the line there. But yeah, so maybe, maybe that's the low. That's the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. And then we're moving up from that point. Coming back to our 4-hour chart. It's just that the thing is, it's just not clear, The whole thing's not clear. So if I put that back here, I'm not really sure how to count. I don't know really where to put that, It's yeah, I mean, I could count 5 waves up here. I'm just forcing it, So yeah, I know that the S&P is going to rally, and it will be rallying until it should be in a positive rally for maybe, well, until next week anyway. There is that triple witching in the US tomorrow on Friday, so that's going to create volatility. I don't know how that comes back through for the European markets. So yeah, that's a little bit of a sticking point there for that. Let's just go back to the DAX here for a moment. So with the DAX, it does appear to me this particular pattern here it does appear to be bullish corrective. It doesn't give me much hope here though. You see how that's in 3 waves here? And this looks also in 3. So it just looks corrective to me. But at the same time, we've got, this is in 3 waves here as well. Yeah, so a bit of an issue there. One of the things that we could sort of look at here, it's a little bit left field, but the Australian market has got the same thing here. This is all the same, all of this top here and all of this move down through here is the same as the Australian market. So, if I brought it across, you probably wouldn't know the difference if I didn't have it labelled, So you can see all across the top here. And we had the same problem here. We had 3 waves down here finishing. We could label it as a wave E or 4. And we also had this little move here, so in 3 waves here. But we could also see that this was correct, so we decided to go long here. And today the market has pushed up kind of nicely. So it's probably this pattern here, sitting at the 7-4, just talking patterns here. Well, that's really the same as this here, isn't it? This is a 4-hour chart. We just looked at a 1-hour chart, but yeah, it's the same. So it's probably likely we're going to be pushing higher here if the Australian markets are pushing up. So as Asia, opens, Australia, Japan, Hong Kong, India. So, that should flow through to the UK shores. So yeah, let's just see how that goes. Let's just put this on the hourly chart for a moment. That's a bit messy, isn't it? It was just the count that we had here, but okay, so this just gives us a little bit more sort of clarity with all of this. It's, I had this looking down here before as this particular pattern, but it's hard to look at this. It's hard to look at this being bullish, but at the same time, I can see that this is not a bearish pattern here. This is a bullish pattern. So this here, especially this line through here, this particular one, the lower end of minor group 2 here, this one here, when you look at this pattern here, then it becomes very much like the Australian market here, doesn't it? Like this through here, like that. So I'm also expecting this to go down, but we just really weren't getting that impulse wave there. So this pattern is all of this here is the same as the DAX. So yeah, so what we could do here is we could go long on top of the 700 here. The 700, I just use the 720, but it's same. So this is probably a little wave 1 and come back for a wave 2, and then it'll push up here. So you can do this with the 700 or this number here, and then once you've got the little second high here, then you can go long from that point. And let's see how that builds to the upside. We don't want to see the market drop below here, because then you know, that just creates the short trade at that point, because it would be rejecting group 2. So this is, you know, really this would be a short trade setup, well, it'd be part of it, wouldn't it? So the market's come through the level, it's coming back up here, and then it may go to the level or it may go higher here, whatever, but if it comes down, then we can look to short it here. That's what that would have been about. So that would be the same thing again. If this moves down through here, you want to get that low there and then short it. So that can be moved over somewhat to that point, because it's a different, this leg would, I know they're connected to this one, but this one will be more relevant in that case. So look, based on the Australian market, which is a bit of a weird analysis, and based on this little move here being not really displaying as a bearish pattern, then the market should move to the upside. What haunts me a little bit is that this low's got overlapping wave structures here. This looks like 5 waves in here. It looks like an A and a B and a C for the A wave here, and then the B wave, and then a C wave up here, but I mean, we could count that as 5 waves as well. So yeah, look, it's just really iffy. I just can't nail it down. But look, if it pushes up above this, then a small position on the 15,700 as a tested support, or the 72, the 720, and then also looking to add over here as well for that on top of on the 80, with another classic trading levels pattern sitting on that level. And we'll see what that looks like. Yeah, I mean, just simply put, based on this move here being corrective at this stage, we should make a new high above here as wave 4 of E, then as a C, D and E of wave 4. Or this can also be wave B on our website as well. So that's it. Sorry guys, I just don't have a clear pathway for all of this. It's all a little bit iffy. Okay, cheers.